Well, we've been talking a lot about Ohio as a state that could decide the race. This week's Quinnipiac CBS News New York Times poll shows a significant gender gap in Ohio. More men plan to vote for Mitt Romney and more women for President Obama. Republican strategist and CBS News political analyst Frank Luntz held two focus groups this week in Ohio, one with men and another with women.
So who's undecided here? Okay, so a whole bunch of you. Why does Mitt Romney lag in Ohio?
I think it's a bunch of hardworking people. It's manufacturing. Everybody gets up, they go to work. And Romney, I think they look at him like the boss, the guy who's there. And Obama, I think, well, you can kind of sit down, talk to the guy, one-on-one.
But I think part of it is, since Kasich became governor and implemented his policies and has turned things around, Obama's getting part of the credit for what's happened in Ohio. Ohio is at only at 7% unemployment. What he's done to sit there and turn the state around is unfortunately giving credit to the president.
In Ohio, I think it's the auto industry. I think it's what Obama did, and when he stood behind the people and the auto workers.
The unions in Ohio is why Obama is strong right now.
Show me by hands, how many of you voted for him in 2008? How many of you are definitely voting for him in 2012? What the hell happened?
The promises weren't met. What we got is not what we thought we were going to get in 2008.
I'm disappointed because he didn't do what he said he would do. The only other thing is I'm not real sure I like the alternative.
Who leans towards Barack Obama? Raise your hands. Who is leaning towards Mitt Romney? This is a group towards Barack Obama. Is Romney in touch with you all?
No.
No? Tell me why not.
Romney is more just focused on big business.
If they find something and they bring it against him, all of a sudden he changes his tune. Oh, I didn't say that. That's not what I meant.
Does Obama understand you?
I think Barack Obama grew up middle class or lower middle class, so I think he can relate. I think that Mitt Romney always grew up wealthy.
I think he relates to everything that we stand for. I mean, women's rights, children, raising children.
He's a family man, and that is how I think women, that's why women like Obama, is because he is a family man. He's been there with us, and Mitt Romney's never needed.
When is this president going to take responsibility for the 47 months of his presidency? You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, I inherited a mess, and oh, I got Osama bin Laden, but I didn't use the intel from the 4 years before that. It's just, you can't have it both ways.
I'm not really sure that Barack Obama can turn it around in the next 4 years, and I don't think Mitt Romney can either. It's going to take time.
Frank Luntz is with us now from Cincinnati. Good morning. So if you look at these focus groups and what they said, is the case baked in Ohio for one of the two candidates?
It's a challenge for Barack Obama to win over the men. It's a challenge for Mitt Romney to win over the women. But you heard it, Charlie, with your own ears. It's like whiplash. It's not just whether you're a Republican or Democrat. The gender has an impact on how you feel. Age has an impact. Obviously, ethnicity has an impact. And income has an impact. And this is ground zero. $30 million were spent in the last week alone. I'm told that they're coming close to the $200 million mark in Ohio for the campaign. That is unprecedented, and voters have had enough. I just got here a couple hours ago. I was in Ohio a few days ago. I turned on the TV, and every single ad is a political ad. They've had it.
Okay, so both candidates are coming to Ohio. Does that make a difference? Is this thing capable of changing wherever it is now?
Well, let me be clear, because I want to change a misconception among viewers. There are no undecided voters anymore. Everybody has an opinion. They've got a leaning. But, Charlie, the difference is that there are some people who haven't absolutely decided whether they're going to vote. And then there's another segment who leans either towards Romney or Obama, but they could still be influenced. And so when these candidates come, what they're hoping is that they will say something, some soundbite, some story that connects with people, because I think Ohio's going down to the wire. I think Ohio will be decided by less than 1% of the vote. We may be talking to political lawyers 5 days from now rather than voters.
Frank, we see that the president is in Ohio every day for the next 4 days. Romney's there only at least once, according to his schedule. Does that suggest that the Republicans have decided, look, Ohio is trending the other way, and that's why they're sending Romney, for instance, to New Hampshire and to Pennsylvania to try and broaden the electoral map?
Well, I know that Paul Ryan's coming back here, and I think he's coming back every day. and you've got surrogates all over the state. You can't drive anywhere, Nora, without bumping into a U.S. senator, a congressman, or someone involved in the presidential campaign. And I'm going to throw something out to you. I think that Wisconsin, we don't talk about it that much, that Wisconsin may be the balance to Ohio. It's very popular for Paul Ryan is known and has a very good favorability rating there. They've got a Republican governor. They've got a key Senate race. And so you're going to see a lot of Republicans going over, which is in the same general vicinity. Ohio is still in play, but there are other states in the region that are equally important.
Now, Frank, your focus group took place before Hurricane Sandy, and it's believed that all the candidates put politics aside for a very short period of time. Do you think that hurt Governor Romney's momentum, or how much do you think it hurt his momentum?
Well, there was clear momentum that we were watching on a daily basis. Every state, particularly those that weren't right in the middle of the campaign, you could see some movement. I do believe that movement was stopped. I think that the campaign is back on again, but those 72 hours were precious for the Romney campaign. At this point, the national polls show it a dead heat. State by state, Barack Obama has the tiniest of leads. And what you saw in that focus group is a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and a desire for this election to be over with.
So you are saying, Frank, that if the vote was at this moment, you believe what?
If the vote is at this moment, I believe Mitt Romney wins the popular vote by the tiniest of margins, and I believe Barack Obama wins the Electoral College by the tiniest of margins.
No, I mean in Ohio.
And Charlie,
in Ohio, the vote this morning.
I think the vote right now, Obama's got about a 1.5 point lead within the margin of error, or close enough that Romney can close in the last 96 hours. That's why this rally that's happening tonight, Charlie, is so important for the GOP.
Thanks, Frank.
All right. Thank you, Frank. It is now 8:11. Time now to check your local weather.